Hello everybody, it's Yashar here, back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to show you every single stock that I own in my Wealthsimple account, update you on recent changes to our stocks portfolio, and the new stocks that I bought during the last month. I increased my stake in Brookfield Corporation, Aritzia, and TD Bank. And I added MasterCard as a new stock to my portfolio. And also I reduced my stake in Bank of Nova Scotia. The dollar figure of my own portfolio at the moment is close to $69,000, and our combined grand portfolio of me and my wife worth around $85,000 today, which is great. We are in our way to break through $100,000 by the end of the year in our combined portfolio, which would be really cool. Of course, in this channel, things are a little bit different than other finance-focused YouTube channels, and I will try to update you every single month with full transparency and show you the exact performance of my portfolio. I don't tell you what stocks to buy because I don't know about your investment goals, your risk tolerance, and your financial situation. But I will tell you what I'm doing with my own money, and I show you my process of evaluating different companies and different stocks. So if you like to see how I evaluate different companies, see what I am buying and selling every single month, see the earnings report updates of my companies, and see the performance of my portfolio in the long run, make sure to subscribe and follow my videos. I used pretty much all of our investment in 2020 to buy a house, and therefore I started this new portfolio in January 2021 and slowly dollar cost average into the stocks that I found them undervalued or fairly valued but with a great quality. So yeah, I first just want to start with the asset allocation. This is a nice graphical representation of the stocks we hold in this grand portfolio. Meta, Google, Aritzia, EQ Bank, Brookfield, TD, and Granite REIT are our largest holding in this portfolio, and these 7 stocks together form almost 90% of the value of our stocks portfolio at the moment, which shows how much I believe in these companies and how much we are concentrated in these positions. Of course, the plan is to build a larger stake in the rest of the stocks that we own, so we have a much more balanced portfolio at the end. In terms of the sector allocation, financials and tech are still our largest holdings, followed by consumer discretionary and REITs. Okay, now let's look at my personal Wealthsimple account, excluding my wife holdings in her own portfolio, in her own TFSA. Overall, I have close to 69,000 Canadian dollar worth of stocks in this account at the moment. My TFSA, which is mostly Canadian companies, performed okay considering the downturn in the markets in 2022, and it is up almost 2% at the moment. I analyzed pretty much all of these stocks that I hold in my TFSA, and I will leave a link to those videos in the description box below. In the US side of my TFSA, there is no change at all. Google is the only position I hold here, and as you can see, I currently own 50 shares of Google in my TFSA, and it is basically flat. I also own 51 shares of Google in my RRSP, and overall I own 101 shares of Google at the moment. Google valuation is very attractive at this point, and I want to add to my Google position in my RRSP at this price. I don't have any plan to add to my Google position inside TFSA, and will probably just hold my Google shares here for now. On the Canadian side of the account, I bought more shares in some of my holdings that I think they are undervalued at the moment. And also I sold one of my Canadian stocks. As you can see here, I sold 100% of my stake in Bank of Nova Scotia during the last month. And it is not in my portfolio anymore. My wife still holds her shares in Bank of Nova Scotia, but I decided to sell my shares and put that money into Brookfield and TD. Bank of Nova Scotia had a very nice run during the last month, and I already had 3 Canadian bank stocks in my portfolio. And in my opinion, I was too much concentrated in this sector. I own EQ Bank, TD, and Bank of Nova Scotia, so I decided to actually sell Bank of Nova Scotia and use the opportunity to buy Brookfield shares at a discounted price and also increase my stake in TD Bank a little bit. So let's go stock by stock and see what is going on with my portfolio. First stock here is Alimentation Couche-Tard, which I added to my portfolio almost 2 months ago. I'm up a little bit over 4% on this position so far, and I added 2 shares of Couche-Tard during the last month to my position. Couche-Tard is a company with more than 14,000 convenience stores and gas stations around the world, and it has a fantastic balance sheet and growth potential. Right now, I have a very small starter position in this company with only 9 shares, but I plan to consistently buy more shares of Couche-Tard in 2023 and scale this position to at least 5% of my portfolio. Next, we have Aritzia, which is a fast-growing Canadian fashion retailer with various physical locations in Canada and US. And it is one of the largest positions in our stocks portfolio. I'm down almost 2% in this position so far. Aritzia's share price went down significantly during the past few weeks. I used this opportunity to buy 50 more shares of Aritzia, and now I own 150 shares of this company in my TFSA. My wife also holds 135 shares in her own TFSA, and I think the risk reward profile on Aritzia is much more attractive right now at this share price. My plan for Aritzia is to buy more shares if the share price remains in these low valuations, especially if the share price drops below $40. I will definitely add another 50 shares of Aritzia. Next position in my portfolio is Brookfield Corporation. I think this stock is absolutely undervalued here. I bought another 65 shares of Brookfield Corporation during the last month, and it is now one of my largest holdings. I really believe Brookfield can outperform the market in the next several years, and that's why I doubled down on my previous position in this company. Right now, I own 200 shares of Brookfield Corporation, and I am down almost 12% on my position so far. But I'm not worried about the future of this company at all. I think global inflation and higher interest rate is overall a positive thing for Brookfield in the long run, as they can use their huge amount of available capital to buy cheap assets around the world, and inflation will help the value of their assets to increase dramatically in the long run. Next, we have Canadian Tire, which I recently added to my TFSA. I added 4 shares of Canadian Tire during the last month, and now I have 15 shares of Canadian Tire, and I'm already up around 12% on this position. Canadian Tire is a company with multiple revenue streams ranging from retail businesses like Canadian Tire stores and Sport Chek stores to financial services and real estate business. I hope Canadian Tire share price drops even more in 2023, so I will be able to scale up this position and accumulate more shares. I want to have close to 50 shares of Canadian Tire in my TFSA. Next, I have EQ Bank, which is the golden ticket of my portfolio. It is one of the companies that I believe will reach a new all-time high in 2023 or at latest 2024. They have excellent growth roadmap, they have fantastic balance sheet and business fundamentals, they are focused to return value to shareholders, and they have great margins which are growing. The stock is currently up around 12% for me, and I'm excited to hold this stock for a very long time and reap the benefits in the long run. Next, I have 2 REITs. Granite REIT, which is an industrial real estate company with many large warehouses around Canada, US, and Europe, and Killam REIT, which is a residential real estate company with a focus on Eastern Canada. Both are amazing REITs with both growth potential and consistent monthly dividends. I'm basically flat on both positions. I am happy with my position in Granite at the moment, and this would be another hold for me in 2023. However, I bought 45 more shares of Killam in the last month and have planned to continue to add to my Killam position in 2023, as my target share count for Killam is at least 300 shares. So 2023 should be a year that I consistently add to Killam REIT. Finally, we have TD Bank here, which is up almost 5%. I bought 35 more shares of TD during the last month to increase my stake in this Canadian bank. I think TD is the best Canadian bank stock at the moment in terms of the quality of their business and also their future growth path. TD is a position that I will probably never sell and just try to collect those juicy dividends and reinvest that cash flow into my other stocks. Next, let's look at my RRSP account, which I contributed cash to this account much more than TFSA in the last month. I plan to hold most of my US stocks and international stocks here. RRSP portfolio is down around 10%, which is normal as I hold a lot of tech stocks in this portfolio, and tech stocks did not have a good year in 2022. So let's look at the stocks that I hold inside this account. As you can see here, I added a new company to this portfolio. I added MasterCard to this RRSP portfolio during the last month. I added 3 shares as a starter position, and it is basically flat at the moment. I think MasterCard is an amazing business with a fantastic balance sheet, growth potential, profitability matrix, and an excellent return on invested capital. The PE ratio is a little bit rich, but sometimes you have to pay a premium to own such a great company like MasterCard. That return on invested capital is definitely makes it easier for me to pay a premium for MasterCard. I'm happy and excited to add to my position in this company in the coming months, and hopefully we will have another market downturn so I can build a much larger position in this company at a cheaper price. Other than that, I added 1 share of Google to make it a position with 51 shares here, and I also added 10 shares to my Amazon position. My wife already had Amazon in her portfolio, so this is not a new position for us. I'm almost flat on Amazon, and I am down 10% on my Google position. I think the valuation of both Google and Amazon are really attractive here, and I want to add to these two stocks at hopefully even lower price points. I also still have my Meta shares here as the largest position in our portfolio. Meta is still undervalued but I don't really want to buy more Meta as we already have a large position in this company. So overall, our plan with all these stocks that I show you here is to hold or add to them during these dips. Even if we go down another 30%, I will still hold these stocks as I analyze each and every company I buy, and therefore I'm not going to emotionally react to price action of these stocks. These are my businesses, and as somebody who owns a piece of these businesses, I know the value of my assets, so I'm not going to sell them under their fair market value. There you are, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video and my transparency in showing you all the position I have in my own portfolio and also the performance of our stocks. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing to the channel to see similar videos. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Farewell.